Chapter 3, Day 3, Venice, the city that walks on water. Crossing into a world of tales. John boarded an early morning train from Florence, his mind still lingering on Da Vinci's secrets he had uncovered the day before. But as soon as he arrived at Santa Lucia station in Venice, he felt as if he had stepped through a hidden gateway into another world. Here there were no cars, no screeching tires, only winding canals where streets should be, and black gondolas drifting like poetic phantoms across the water. "This isn't a city," he whispered to himself as he stood on a bridge overlooking the shimmering boats. "It's a dream floating above the tide. A deliberate kind of lost." John began walking through the narrow alleys, a labyrinth of stone and water that seemed untouched by time. Every turn held a surprise: a wall draped in ivy, an ancient stone archway, or an open window letting out the wistful notes of an accordion. He passed a tiny cafe, where he sat for a short espresso and listened to an old man telling tourists a local legend, the story of the Golden Mask, a magical artifact said to appear only to those with a pure heart and a shadowy past. John laughed and joked. "Could it be me?" The old man answered without a smile. "Perhaps, if you know how to truly see." The Palace of Secrets. John then made his way to Doge's Palace, the iconic structure in St. Mark's Square. Mark's Square. Stepping through its majestic gates, he inhaled the heavy air of history, the kind that had soaked into every marble pillar and velvet-hung hall, a place once filled with secret councils and silent condemnations. As he wandered through the grand chambers, he noticed a painting tucked away in a dim corner that bore no signature. Curious, he approached and found a small, nearly invisible engraving on its wooden frame. "Follow the shadow at the hour of drowning." His heart pounded. What could it mean? Drowning? A shadow? He knew it was a clue. From a nearby hallway, an elderly guard quietly approached and whispered, "Don't seek in the light. Venice only reveals herself at dusk." At the Bridge of Sighs. As the sun began to set, John made his way to the famous Bridge of Sighs, once the final passage for prisoners headed to the dungeons. He sat facing it, waiting for something unknown. And then, as golden light fractured across the water's surface, he noticed odd shadows forming on a stone wall nearby. They shaped an arrow, pointing toward a hidden staircase behind an old building. Following it, John found himself in a narrow corridor that led to an ancient, damp cellar. At its end, there was a bare room with only a single object inside, an old mirror. He approached it and saw his reflection, but wearing a golden mask. A chill ran down his spine. He stepped back. Near the exit, a folded note lay on the floor. In Italian, it read, "Those who see the mask will be tested. Dinner on water." That night, John boarded a quiet gondola, the gondolier humming songs from a distant era. Lights danced on the rippling canals and the city shimmered like a rare jewel. He dined at a floating restaurant overlooking the Grand Canal, savoring a plate of the famous black ink risotto, cooked with squid ink and fresh seafood, a true Venetian delicacy. As he ate, he gazed into the water and again saw the reflection of the golden mask, this time without a mirror. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Then he wrote in his notebook, "Venice didn't just show me her beauty. She tested the depths of my soul. She's not a city you simply explore. She's a riddle you must understand."